Hello, I'm Arathik, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about the difference between raging and taunting. Now, the main difference between raging and taunting is obvious. Raging is when people are swearing, they're going mad, they're calling people noobs, they're getting really enraged, and they're not playing their best because they're angry. And no one really does their best if they're angry, except in like real life fight. Then that might help. But in League, generally you need to be calm, collected, think. So making the enemy rage is what taunting is. Making them take their head out of the game, being like, whoa, trying to think of comebacks at you, getting annoyed, not thinking about what they're doing. And conventional insults like your mum, you're gay, noob, that's raging, in my opinion. If you say things like this, they're either not going to work, or you're saying it in response to someone else is saying something, and it's just not going to do it. People deal with these things every day in League and with their friends, and they'll instantly know comebacks, they'll know exactly what to say to you. Just they won't have to think. It doesn't take their head out of the game. Taunting insults, on the other hand, for example, I use newbie puppy, my friend uses milk dribble, my other friend uses door-to-door dildo salesman. These sorts of things will generally annoy people, especially when repeated over and over again. If you keep saying these things instead of like coming back to what they say, they sort of think you're ignoring them. Now, everyone gets annoyed when people ignore them. It's fact. People just get annoyed. They're ignoring me. I want them to notice that I'm doing well. I want them to feel something. If someone insults you, you want to insult them back, and they get affected by that. That's what you want. So staying away from conventional insults is a good way to do that. You want to avoid swearing or abuse because in the end, that's only going to get you reported. You can get reported for swearing. Obviously, kids play this game as well. It's not just the older people. And abuse generally is a bad thing. You don't want to abuse someone to the point where you can get reported. Abuse isn't what you're going for. You just want to mock them, which isn't really offensive in any way. You don't want to be racist or sexist or any of those things. The timing of taunting, you want to make sure you don't taunt them when they've killed you or they've done something good, they've taken the power. Because if you taunt them when they've done something, they're going to turn around and go, okay, well, it doesn't really matter that you've taunted me because I've done this stuff. I've killed you. You are useless, all that stuff. If you do it the other way round, when you did something good, you killed them, you baited them, you duped them, you did all these things, and you taunt them right at that moment, they're going to get annoyed. They're going to get frustrated. They're like, they're mocking me in my failure. It's not good. Why do they do this to me? Why? And they'll get annoyed. Their head will come out to the game, and they'll be like, "Oh, your mum," and then you'll just say something else really random and clever, and it's like, what are they going to do? Keep coming up with more and more things. Mocking their insults as well is another good way to taunt them. Here they say, "Oh, your mum," and it's like, "Stop getting your insults off Google," and they're like, "Ah!" They'll try and come up with something themselves, which requires their brain to think, and for their brain to think, they have to be focused less on the game. Preparation, because you want them to think about their insults, you want to have a lot of them in your mind already. You want to make sure that you have something to say so you don't have to take your head out of the game to think. That's why repeating the same one and acting like you're ignoring them will annoy them while you don't actually have to think about it, especially if you control V beforehand, control C, sorry, beforehand, and then just continuously go. That can get a bit annoying. Like the most annoying one I know is that someone once played Tristana on my team, and they annoyed the hell out of the enemy team just by continuously saying, "Is that a rocket in your pocket?" Just continuously. The enemy team got so frustrated that they charged into our base, just against Tristana, not even at the inhibitor turret while we were pushing. That's how angry they got at this. You want to practice a few, see what works, see what doesn't, see what affects certain kinds of players, what doesn't. Like any champion that has a skill shot, every time they miss it, you could be like, haha, you missed, you know? And especially if, say an Ezreal fires his ult straight down the lane and kill someone behind turret, and it's like a blind person could have made that snipe. And they will get annoyed. You're mocking them. Anti-taunt is what I said about earlier, mocking their taunt. If they insult you and you insult their taunt and tell them that they're basically thick or dumb, then they're going to get annoyed. Their insults seem less. They're going to come up with more and more. Passive global taunt is the last thing I wanted to talk about, which is everyone knows that Teemo has a passive global taunt. Everyone wants to kill Teemo. His mushrooms are so annoying. Everyone wants to kill that Teemo. That Teemo is so annoying. You want to kill him. There is another way to get a global taunt, which is, I find, if you have that 0 deaths at around 20 minutes in, people want to kill you. You have 0 deaths. People want you to have at least 1 death in your match history, so that you don't look like I am awesome. 0 death. I 0 death. They don't want that. They're going to try and kill you, especially if you point that out to them. You have 0 deaths, about 20 minutes in, you're like, still can't kill me? Hmm? They're going to be like, ah! And get really, really angry at you. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to talk about. Obviously, taunts, they're good. They're not 100% guaranteed to work. Some people will just laugh in your face, and you have to deal with that. Move on. That didn't work. Keep going. Now, I don't use taunt all the time. I don't think anyone should, because if you use them too much, they don't become effective anymore. And to be honest, it's good to be a skilled player and win through your skill. But if you're winning through skill and then you taunt them as well, it's going to make them play worse, which is good. But taunts aren't necessary to win. They're not a need. But people mistake raging and taunting. They think with their insults like you're mum and you're gay because they get on the enemy's nerves because they don't know how to come back. Basically someone is using the conventional insult and someone else is using conventional insult back, and it just ends in a raging war. And then two people on either team are both raging at each other, and that's two people completely out of the game. Supports and tanks are very good at taunting, because at the end of the day, if you're a Taric and you're taunting their AD carry, their AD carry is going to want to kill you and not your AD carry. As well as being an AD carry and taunting someone else, you're asking to be focused. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see some funny, weird taunts that you might all use in the comments below. The subscribe button is there if you would like to subscribe. If not, don't worry, it's fine. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you again soon with an upcoming video that me and my friends are making called the Blood Paladin, which is a new sort of gameplay team thing that we've started doing. So I've been Arithix for Just the Reaper, and I'll see you all soon.